There is a line to a quarry at the end of Thomas's branch. It goes for some distance along the road. Thomas was always very careful here. One morning, there was no one on the road, but a large policeman was sitting on the grass close to the line. He was shaking a stone from his boot. Thomas liked policemen. He had been a great friend of the constable who used to live in the village but had just retired. Thomas expected that the new constable would be friendly too, and he called out to him, "Good morning." The policeman jumped and dropped his boot. He scrambled up and hopped round on one leg till he was facing Thomas. Thomas was sorry to see that he didn't look friendly at all. He was red in the face and very cross, and he was wobbling about, trying to keep his balance. And he said to Thomas,
"It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. That's what it is. I didn't sleep a wink last night, it was so quiet, and now a blinking engine comes whistling suddenly right behind me. My first day in the country too. Wish I'd never been transferred."
And he picked up his boot and hopped over to Thomas. Thomas said,
"Well, I'm very sorry, sir. I only said good morning."
The policeman grunted, and leaning against Thomas's buffer, he put his boot on. And then he drew himself up and pointed to Thomas.
"Where's your cow-catcher then, eh?"
"Oh, please, sir, I don't catch cows, sir."
"Don't you try to be funny with me, young fella, me lad. Now, let's see."
And he took out his notebook and he looked at Thomas's wheels.
No side plates either. No side plates and no cow-catcher. Engines going on public roads must have their wheels covered and a cow-catcher in front. And you haven't. Ha-ha! And so you are dangerous to the public. So there.
Thomas's driver said, "Oh, look, that's rubbish, Constable. We've been along here hundreds of times and never had an accident."
"Oh, have you? Then that makes it worse, don't it? I'll just have to make a note of that. A regular lawbreaker. That's what you are. A regular lawbreaker. I shall report this."
Thomas puffed slowly away. The fat controller was having breakfast when the telephone rang.
"Oh, bother that telephone,"
and he said to his wife,
"I'll be back in a minute. Oh dear, 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 dear."
But when he came back he said,
"Oh, bother. I'm sorry, my dear, but Thomas is in trouble with the police. I must go down at once."
He gulped down his coffee and hurried from the room. The policeman was waiting at the station. The fat controller spoke to him at once, and a crowd collected. Other policemen came to see what was happening, and the fat controller argued with them too, but it was no good. The policeman said
that the law is the law, and that's that and all about it.
the fat controller felt exhausted. He mopped his face and said to Thomas's driver,
I'm sorry, driver. Oh dear, it's no use arguing with policemen. We will have to make one of those cow-catcher things for Thomas, I suppose.
Thomas was horrified. Everyone will laugh, sir. They'll say that I look like a tram.
Eh? What? Like a tram? Why, yes. Well done, Thomas. Why didn't I think of that before? We want a tram engine. Now, when I was on my holiday, I met a nice little engine called Toby. Now, he hasn't enough work to do and needs a change. I'll write to his controller at once.
A few days later, Toby arrived, and the fat controller said to him,
Well done, Toby, that's a good engine. I see you've brought Henrietta with you.
Oh, you don't mind, sir, do you? But the station master wanted to use her as a hen house, and that would never do, sir, would it?
Oh, no, indeed it wouldn't. We couldn't allow that.
Toby made the trucks behave even better than Thomas did. At first, Thomas was jealous, but he was so pleased when Toby rang his bell and made the policeman jump that they have been firm friends ever since.